In this episode, Marinette just can't take it anymore. The weight of her secret is crushing her. All she wants is to finally tell Adrien the truth, but deep down she's terrified it might only hurt him even more. Desperate for answers, and for someone who'll really understand her, she makes a bold choice. She travels all the way to Brazil to find Luka. The episode opens with a flashback. Luka saying goodbye to his family on the day he leaves for Brazil. The reason is simple. Luka knows the secret identities of both Cat Noir and Ladybug, and for everyone's safety, the best option is for him to go somewhere far away, out of reach from being akumatized. Ladybug explains that Luka never told her who Cat Noir really is, because the only way for things to keep working as they have is for neither of them to know each other's secret identity. Adrien, however, can't live with the uncertainty. He goes to Luka to stop him from leaving, but also to make sure Luka doesn't know his identity. In doing so, Adrien's words confirm what Luka already suspected, and Adrien realizes that if Luka leaves, it will only make it harder for Ladybug and Cat Noir to defeat Monarch. Back in the present, Marinette has a nightmare. In it, she's chased by the truth itself, hounded by reporters asking about her relationship with Gabriel. In her dream, she confides in Luka, revealing the truth that keeps haunting her. Gabriel was Monarch, but she can't tell anyone. She swore to keep that secret, especially from Adrien. Her deepest fear is that once Adrien finds out, the negative emotions could overwhelm him and lead him to be akumatized. When Marinette wakes up, Tiki immediately notices something is wrong. Marinette, though, pretends she slept better than ever and insists she feels completely refreshed. But her slip of the tongue betrays her, and it's clear she's far from okay. Adrien, on the other hand, looks downcast. He doesn't even touch his breakfast, and Nathalie picks up on it. She knows that the meeting they're about to attend could bring back painful memories, but Adrien also knows he can't skip it. After all, he's Gabriel Agreste's son, and he has to be there. At least Marinette will be with him for support. Meanwhile, at her own breakfast table, Marinette accidentally tells her mom that she'll pass along greetings from her and from Monarch. Her mouth clearly isn't keeping up with her brain, and one slip could completely break the promise she made to never reveal Gabriel's true identity. By now, Tiki fully understands what's going on, and suggests the best option is for Marinette to be honest with Adrien about his father. Marinette refuses, but the truth is, if she keeps confusing her words like this, she might end up spilling everything by accident. Adrien, meanwhile, is still tormented by the thought that he wasn't the one to defeat Monarch. That failure led to his father sacrificing himself because in the end, Gabriel became the hero who saved the world. Adrien feels like pieces of the story are still missing. Even though Ladybug already told him what happened, he can't shake the feeling she left things out. And when he tries to get answers from Plague, the Kwami pretends he wasn't in any state to remember the details. At that moment, Marinette shows up to cheer him up, but as usual, her tongue betrays her and she says things she shouldn't. Luckily, Adrien doesn't notice, and with her by his side, he finally feels ready for the meeting. The mayor presents them with the design for a new statue to replace the old one. This new monument will be financed by Mrs. Tujrugi and Théo Barbul, the man in charge of bringing the project to life. Unlike the previous statue, the new one would stand outside City Hall, towering at 10 meters high, a monument meant to symbolize the greatness of Gabriel Agreste. For Théo, Gabriel was a mentor, someone he worked alongside, not to mention the man who saved Paris, and even the world. But for Adrien, Gabriel was also the man who tried to stop him from loving Marinette. To Adrien, his father may have played the role of a hero, but he believes Théo and the others see him as far greater than he truly was. With those words, Adrien puts the statue project on hold. Adrien then turns to Marinette, questioning her. She knows very well what Gabriel was like, and the idea that he sacrificed himself to save Paris doesn't sit right, not when he tried to stand in the way of their relationship. Now, with everyone praising his father as if he were flawless, Adrien feels like they're describing a man he never knew. He refuses to see Gabriel the way the rest of the world does. That conflict makes him feel like a terrible son. Marinette can only hold him as he mourns not being there to save his father. She reminds him that neither of them could have done anything about it. For a moment, she almost blurts out the truth, but Nathalie interrupts before she can say more. Later, before leaving, Marinette can't take the weight any longer. She tries to persuade Nathalie to tell Adrien the truth. But that brings up more problems. First, Adrien would wonder how Marinette even knows, which would lead him straight to the conclusion that she's Ladybug. And even if she confessed as Ladybug, that would expose Nathalie as one of Monarch's accomplices. Nathalie makes it clear both of them accepted a version of the truth, and now there's no turning back. They must hold on to it until the very end. Later during his guitar class, Adrien struggles, his skills are slipping, and Luka notices. It's here that we meet Irope, Luka's supposed love interest, whose relationship with him seems enviable. Marinette notices too, and points it out to her friend, though once again she accidentally lets the word Monarch slip. Luka realizes something is wrong and urges her to open up. At first, Marinette resists, but then she remembers one of the abilities of Luka's Kwame and decides to travel all the way to Brazil to speak with him. Arupi invites Luka out for coffee, but he chooses to stay behind, alone with his guitar. She understands why. The truth is, she agreed to pretend to be his girlfriend only so Marinette would believe he had moved on. But he hasn't, and Arupi tells him it would be best if he finally told her the truth. Luka did try once before. Back when Monarch was first defeated, he opened his heart and explained why he was really leaving for Brazil. Marinette assumed it was out of fear of being akumatized, since he knew everyone's identities, and while that was partly true, the real reason was deeper. He was still in love with her. Luka didn't want his feelings to turn into jealousy, and knowing they wouldn't change, the only solution was to stay far away. But Luka had a plan. He used the power of his Miraculous to turn back time, only this time he lied, telling Marinette he was leaving for Brazil because he had met another girl and wanted to be with her. Meanwhile, Adrien, after much thought, goes to Nathalie and asks her to cancel the statue altogether. His wish is granted immediately, as Nathalie calls the mayor to relay the final decision. An hour later, Ladybug meets with Luka. She asks for his Miraculous, uses the snake's power to rewind time, and this time tells him the full truth without consequence. She admits she lied to everyone. Adrien's father wasn't a hero, he was Monarch. Gabriel made her promise never to reveal his secret, so Adrien wouldn't hate him, and so she could protect him even after he was gone. The reason is simple. Marinette loves Adrien too much to risk him carrying any resentment that could push him to be akumatized by the new holder of the butterfly. And if protecting him means keeping this secret until the very end, then that's exactly what she'll do. Luka reacts in a strange way. Instead of asking questions, he asks for her Miraculous. There's something in Marinette's words that he understood, something that makes him believe that to protect her, he needs it. Luka knows things even she doesn't, and he might be the only one capable of solving this. Ladybug doesn't know how to respond and refuses to hand it over, regretting having told Luka the truth in the first place. But with the snake on his wrist, Luka rewinds time. This time he simply wishes her happiness and tells her she doesn't need to worry about protecting him. At the mayor's office, Théo receives the news that the statue will not be built. He doesn't take it well. To him, Adrien is nothing but an ungrateful son. He should be proud, just like Théo, of Gabriel, the man who saved the world. That resentment is enough for him to be akumatized. Lila seizes the opportunity, suggesting he should teach Adrien a lesson on what it means to be a grateful son. In honor of Gabriel's memory, Théo proclaims himself Mister Agreste. Théo transforms into a giant statue of Gabriel and goes after Adrien, determined to force him into recognizing his father's greatness and accepting the construction of the monument. When Nathalie's life is put at risk, Adrien transforms into Cat Noir in secret to protect her. But then Lila tempts Théo with an impossible promise. If he delivers Cat Noir's Miraculous, she could bring Gabriel back. It's insane, it's impossible, but it's enough to manipulate Théo into pursuing it. The battle begins. Cat Noir insists that what he's facing isn't really his father, but just a statue. Still, deep inside, he's fighting against his own ideals. It hurts him to strike a figure that represents Gabriel. He tries using Cataclysm to drive out the Akuma, but the statue seems unbreakable. It regenerates effortlessly. Realizing this fight is far more complicated than he thought, Cat Noir calls Ladybug for help. The statue hurls a massive rock at him, striking hard and leaving his ring exposed. The statue snatches it, and just as it sees Cat Noir's true identity, Ladybug arrives and quickly draws its attention. Lila knows that without her partner, Ladybug is at a disadvantage, and she's ready to exploit that moment to seize her Miraculous too. Ladybug does everything she can, facing the statue head-on, but the problem remains. It seems invincible, regenerating instantly. She summons her lucky charm, but once again the items she gets are useless against this opponent. Perhaps Marinette's conflicted mental state is interfering, because out of everything, the last item she receives before being captured is a megaphone. All seems lost until Adrien steps forward, capturing the statue Sip's attention. For now, it abandons its attempt to steal Ladybug Sip's Miraculous, focusing instead on correcting its ungrateful son. Adrien's words to the figure of his father begin to have an effect, so he grabs the megaphone and pours out his heart, calling out every reason Gabriel was, in truth, a bad father. Wanting to control every aspect of his life, not letting him have friends, being absent even when his mother was sick, refusing to let him meet his grandparents, not allowing him to go to school like a normal kid, and above all, stopping him from loving Marinette. Those words echo through Théo's conscience, and he finally understands Adrien's pain. The statue crumbles into nothing. Marinette catches him before he falls, gives him her charm so he won't be akumatized again, and in gratitude, he returns the ring to her. Things settle back to normal, and Adrien can only greet Ladybug with a quiet thank you for saving him. Later, Cat Noir thanks her as well for saving the day and recovering his Miraculous. Adrien, although relieved he was finally able to say to his father's image what he truly felt, knows it doesn't erase everything inside him. It won't bring his father back, and it won't give him the answers he still longs for. He has to accept life as it is now. Still, if there's one light left in his world, it's Marinette. This time he has no intention of uncovering the truth. He knows that if it ever came out, everything would fall apart, especially with Adrien. For her, it's already too late to reveal it. Before the episode closes, in the final scene where Ladybug goes to see Luka, Oripe sees them together. The most intriguing detail? She has a Miraculous of her own. And while Luka doesn't know it, she now believes that if he knows Ladybug, then he must have a Miraculous too. Either way, Luka has always been good at keeping secrets. And that's how this episode ends. Without a doubt, one of the most revealing ones so far. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you won't miss any of the new episodes of Miraculous.